Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be making beef pasties. What is a pasty? Well, the pasty originated in southern England, Cornwall to be exact. The Cornish miners, their wives, would make this pastry. What it is, it's got carrots, potatoes, rutabaga, seasoned ground beef with a ratio of ground pork added to it. And what they do is spice it up, mix it all together, put it in a dough, and then that's what the miners would eat at work. So back around the 1800s, 1840s, somewhere in there, when the Cornish settlers came to America, they settled here and brought this tasty treat with them. And up here in Michigan, we love them. We take them to deer camp. It's a great food for that. You could eat it in your deer blind. However, watch out, because I know a lot of people munching on that pasty, savoring all that goodness, and that's when that big buck comes by and you miss them. So keep your heads up on that. But yes, we're going to put this together. We're going to get the dough going, show you how to do that. We'll show you how to do the beef, mix that all up, wrap those things up, put it in the oven, and we're going to show you what the pasty is all about, how to eat it. So stick around. Okay, so we got our stand mixer going, we got our shortening sticks in there, and I like to use butter flavored shortening sticks. Gives a nice little flavor to that crusty dough when you bake it. And of course we got our flour and a little bit of salt. Real easy dough recipe. I love it because it's great to work with when you fold it over. It doesn't tear, it holds up real well, and you can freeze pasties. And if you want to pull them out to have lunch or something, or eat them on another day, you can put them back in the oven, heat them up a little bit, or when you put it in the microwave, that crust is still flaky. It's almost like it's brand new. It's great to work with. So we're going to get this dough going. Get it in the freezer. Got to let it sit for about, in the freezer, excuse me. Put it in the refrigerator. We're going to let it sit, rise up for about an hour and a half. When we be back, we'll put this meat and show you how to do all the meat and the seasonings and get that all together. So stick around. Okay, now we have our 1 pound of ground round, and this beef is from a friend of mine and co-worker, Curtis. Shout out to him. He raises cattle, and he just got me some meat. So it hasn't been in the store, no preservatives, none of that crap. It's great. And you're going to put a ½ pound of ground pork in there. Like I said, this will all be in the comments section. Then we got a little seasoning pack, very basic: salt, pepper, and garlic. That's all you need. A rutabaga, carrots, potatoes. I'm using creamer potatoes and a mixture of redskins. Take the skin off. And some people put onions in there. I'm not a big fan of the onion. On certain things I like it, but I keep it out of my pasty, so it's really basic. There's all your stuff. So what you're going to do, you want to take your meat, just like making a meatloaf, take your meatball, sprinkle a little bit of that seasoning on there. Got my gloves on, and just work it into that mixture. Just keep fingers in there, get that seasoning pack all worked up. I don't like to put it all in at one time, because you want to get it, try to get it nice and evenly through that meat and the pork. So we're just going to grind this up, like I said, just like you're making a meatloaf. Get that all mixed in there. A little more seasoning. And I like it because it's a very basic seasoning pack for this one. So it's low maintenance, but it gives great flavor. And with that pork mixed in with that meat, get a little fat in that pork, the flavors just all come together. They're great. So we'll finish off that seasoning pack. And then you're just going to mix in your vegetables. I got about a cup of each. I like to go a little bit of each at a time. Cup maybe a little bit much. You just got to check your ratio when you look at your meatball. And just make sure you got a good ratio of the carrots. You know, I might have a little bit extra left over if I think it might be too much vegetables in there. But you just kind of, you'll know it. I'm going to do most of them. more carrots. Everything's cut about 1/4 inch cubed, because that way you don't want it too thick, because then your potatoes won't cook and you're going to have some hard vegetables in there. So about 1/4 inch cube is perfect on these. We're just going to mix this all in. You want to make sure every pasty gets a little bit of them veggies in the potatoes. A little bit more. Without getting there. So that's it, very basic. Just going to mix it all in. Flip it around, we're getting them seasonings in there. And basically that's what it's going to look like right there. Everything mixed into the meat. Alright, so we're going to portion this out. And when we come back, we're going to get the dough going. So stick around. Okay, now the dough. Here's our beautiful dough ball. You can see it's a little bit yellow in color because that is that butter flavored shortening. One of my secrets. Now, you always want to have flour on hand. You got your rolling pin. Got your meat pack. You got this bowl right here. This is about 7 inches wide. So what I'll do is I'll roll out the dough about 1/4 inch thick, and I'm going to place this on top. Just give it a little press down like that, and then bam, you got a perfect circle. Take a little bit of the meat. Now this is going to be folded over in half, so I want to put that meat on in 1/2. I just kind of make like a little football shape, kind of like that. Place it on the 1/2. And then we're just going to fold this right over, just like that. Pull it down so you can get edge to edge. Now you can use a dumpling press, but I find that those tear a lot. So I just like to do it just like this by hand. Plus it gives every pasty its unique little shape. You just want to make sure that edge is closed up just like that. Some people like to do a little egg wash, put it around the edge. I don't see that you need to do that. But the one thing you do need to do, I'll make 3 little slices. 1, 2, 3. Just in the top, not too big. And then you can always pinch this either with your fingers or I like to take a fork. You just press it right down like that. Try not to break the paste dough of your pasty. Dough cutter. It's a must-have when you're messing with dough. So there you go. There's your beautiful little pasty right there. We're going to put this thing in the oven. 350 degrees. It's going to take about an hour. Just got to let that meat and everything cook. Remember those 3 slices? And then we're going to pull that out, try it out and see how it tastes. I've made these before, so I know how they're going to taste, but I want you to make them so you can see how they taste. Because they are fantastic. So stick around, I'll show you. Alright, so after an hour in the oven, 350, there they are. We cooked 3 right now. The other 3 we froze. That's what they look like. Got your rutabaga potato all in there. That's looking good. Alright, I'm going to show you how we wrap them up. And it's time to dig into these things. So, boy, they're looking great. I can't wait. So this recipe will yield about 9 to 11 pasties. Usually get around 10, you know, depending on how thick you fill them. But with the leftover ones, you can freeze them. I just wrap them in saran wrap, put them in a freezer bag, and then just pull them out, let them thaw out, put them in the oven 1 hour on 350, and they will taste fantastic. But that's the best way I find to store them. Alright, so with the pasty, you could take one of these, don't eat it like a sandwich. But remember, if you're in the deer blind, you're doing that. Make sure you got one eye open over there because because that's when he's going to sneak by you. Now, I like to put a little brown gravy on them. Just like that. Well, we got to put this right over here. And then we're going to dig in and take a bite. Like I said, I already know what they're going to taste like. Perfect amount of seasoning, that pork, the fat in that pork mixed in with that ground beef. And that flaky crust. You're going to love this dough recipe. I'm telling you, it's so easy. Crust is flaky. And like I said, you can microwave them the next day or put them in the oven and they taste like right when you made them. I could go in for seconds. So good. So there you have it. Make a batch of these. Make a batch, take them up to deer camp. You guys are going to love them. Or you can have them for dinner any time of the year.